Well, let me say a good evening to you, one and all. We are ecstatic and exhausted. As many of you know, we had the Save the Soul of Youngstown citywide revival that took place. And the amazing thing about the revival is how God moved and blessed and provided and showed himself powerful and mighty. Trying to do this here so at least it looks a little bit better. Probably one of the greatest moves of God that we have seen in quite some time, and grateful. That is the song that I hear in my spirit is grateful. Grateful for what the Lord did and is doing. Grateful for your undying love and participation. Grateful for your followership. I'm going to holler at all of y'all in just a second here, trying to get this all lined up so I can see as many of you as I possibly can. Gladys, I see you. Marcia, Minister Marcia, Minister Faye, Debbie Johnson, good to see those of you who are with us. Oh, here we go. And so I'm grateful. Barbara Foose, how are you? Barbara, no, what actually happened for y'all, the revival in and of itself is, what's the word I want to use? Exhaustive. And then there was the funeral that we went to today for Marva and celebrating her life. Marva at one time was a part of Union and Union's music ministry, so we were there with her. Hey Sheila, how are you? And so came home and just passed out. I had some things that I really needed to do that I didn't get done. But I'm going to rest the rest of the evening because somebody's got to preach. Pat, how are you? I'm just waiting, until, because I know it pops up and lets you know that I'm here. And I just want to wait a couple of minutes and, till some more folk jump on. Hey, Denise, how are you? The first thing, Stephanie, how are you? Herma, hello. Hello, Pat Tennant, I see you. Cecile, how are you? I see you guys are coming on. So yeah, I'm really tired. Um, but it's a good tired. It's the tired that comes from giving yourself. Elder Carter, how are you? Giving yourself to the things of God and watching God show you who He is. Let me start out with the revival. Um, I don't even know where to start with that. The Lord placed it in my spirit, and then He pointed me toward Bishop Paramore and Pastor Mark Jackson to Ayana, how are you? To create a team And I didn't really realize the composition of the team until a little bit later. We had the younger age, middle age, and the older age, of which I am a part of that now. Lisa, how are you? Ethel, you doing okay? And the thing that was so amazing, Patricia, how are you? The thing that was so amazing about the revival is Dr. Gator, man, praying for you and with you, glad that you're doing better. It's my good friend and brother out of Cleveland, Ohio. And the the generations, irregardless of who was preaching, because we didn't give you the schedule of preaching, the generation showed up, whether they were young, middle aged, or older, they were there. We had a 30 by 80 tent, which was too small. And if you know anything about a 30 by 80, it's huge. We had 150 chairs, ran out of chairs. People were bringing their lawn chairs. People were sitting in their cars. They were sitting in their cars on Hillman. They were sitting in their cars on Warren. They were sitting on porches, and they were up. They had parked up in the vacant lots. Hey, Valerie, how are you? Um, Youngstown was hungry for God, and God met their need. I'm sorry, it's just taking me a little while. I hope you're patient with me. I'm trying to get this out without breaking down. Juanita, how are you? Michelle, I see you. Because of the sound. Angela, how are you this evening? I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, and I'm going to share this. We intentionally did not notify the media or anyone else to show up. It was intentional because the persons that we were looking and did come forth are not people that want a camera or a microphone stuck in their face. People started getting saved before each evening's worship service got started. The drive-through prayer, people who were out there were leading people to Christ. I can't go into a lot of detail because I don't know who's watching, but a young man gave his life to Christ because he was on a mission to do something else. And when he heard the sound of preaching, him and his boys went around the block. They came back. They got out and came to Christ. Their coming to Christ saved someone's life. If you heard about the shootings where the AK-47s were used, and the one young lady, they shot up her car. I guess she was on her way getting ready to go back to Michigan, and the AK-47 riddled the car with bullets, and she opened the door and walked out without a scratch. I'm a firm believer that some people would be dead if it were not for our presence on the south side of Youngstown. We had made it up in our minds. We foot the whole bill for the revival because we wanted every penny raised to go toward a inner city organization that was helping kids. And the Lord blessed us. We had set a goal of 3,000. That's right, Jaylon. The sound. This revival was about the sound. And we raised over 5,000, whatever it was. Every penny is going to that organization. I had an opportunity to talk to him, and he was overwhelmed with our willingness to support the work that he does with young children in the inner city. So lives were saved, lives were transformed, people were renewed and strengthened. And now, because of what you did, some young person will know that somebody cares. I came on behalf of Bishop Paramore and Pastor Mark Jackson to tell each and every one of you who participated, thank you. There were people who could not even be there. Hey, Pastor Good, how are you? There were people who could not be there but watched. The streamings were unbelievable. It was being streamed by at least 40 other to 50 other people that were there. And the reports that we got back were just absolutely unbelievable. People's lives were being changed just by watching the video streaming. And so I want to say thank you. Bishop says thank you. Pastor Jackson says thank you. Those pastors who came out, and you know who you are, and supported the work, thank you. For Officer Malik, who was assigned to watch the tent at night, we were paying him to watch the tent at night, gave back to this organization 60% of the cost for him to do and to watch the tent and the contents for 3 nights, because he came up to me and he said, I needed this. Yes, the sound. And that's what the Lord gave me, because there needs to be a new sound. Not a sound of gloom and doom, but a sound that reverberates itself through communities that Jesus saved. So that's I came on for just a few moments to just, and I know a lot of people will see it later, just to tell you I could not believe how many people were outside the tent. I could not believe how many cars were parked in those vacant lots. Now, we're going to come back to that spot next year, and then we have another spot that we're going to go to, because we're going to do it twice a year in 2022. There is such a hunger for righteousness in Youngstown. And these people aren't coming to our churches. They're not coming through the walls. Through the doors. They're not going to sit on our pews or our chairs, but they will attentively listen to the word of God. So that's all I wanted to share with you. Thank you. Thank you. From the three of us, we were the three conveners of this citywide event. A shout out to Deacon Napier. I mean, I know I said I wasn't mentioned, but he helped us. To the mayor, Tito Brown, to Chief Davis, who provided Youngstown's best to watch over us. There are people who still have a heart for the people in the city. And to the very best of our ability, we don't know how, when, where. When we do it again, we're going to do it like we did it. We're going to adjust some things, work on some things, because we need to make it better. We're evaluating. Bishop is working on an evaluation form to send out so that we can evaluate what I do. One of the things that we have learned when I was a part of the Gamaliel Foundation and as the board chair of OOC, the Ohio Organizing Collaborative, the one thing that we have learned is when you have an event, there needs to be an evaluation. We do this even in our own church with our meetings and stuff. We need to evaluate how well it was done so that we can do it better. And when we get done with the evaluation, there's some things that we'll do better, because we are here to serve the people. We are here to show the people that God is still alive and that God is still real. Listen, I gotta go. Some of y'all saw. Can I get a few of you out there that can just testify to the fact that the numbers were astronomical? That the vacant lots that used to have houses on them were filled to capacity. As a matter of fact, Warren was packed on both sides of the street, and then Hillman was packed with cars. I watched people sit on their porches, and the thing about it is it got cool at night, and yet still they came. Blessed are they that do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. So pray for me, pray for Bishop Paramore, pray for Pastor Jackson. We're all tired, but we got to preach tomorrow, and we want to be able to share with you what the Lord has given us. We love you. We love you, 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 we love you. Everybody who did anything in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay, praise team, musicians, ushers, nurses from various churches, the intercessors, the altar workers, the people who picked up trash, Katrina and her crew that did the thing with the revenue and the resources, to all of everybody that did. Yeah, I mentioned some folk because some of these people went above and beyond. I mean, they were coming to me asking me, Pastor, what can we do? Bishop, what can we do? How can we do this? One of our members cut the lot to make, oh, Jesus. Then after they had cut the lot, Bishop had talked to someone else. Another young man came out with a brush hog and was cleaning more of the lot so that we could have more places for people to park. Members from different churches came out and cleaned up the street. So that the people of God could have an environment for them to hear the sound of God. I gotta go. I gotta go. We will not be in the parking lots in the morning because it's 80% chance of rain. But we will be streaming live on our pages, on YouTube, as well as Union's website. I gotta go. But I thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Those guys that put the stuff back into the truck and then brought it back out and reassembled it and put it back in the truck and brought it back out and reassembled it. I mean, bless you, Jaylon, because you know what? We are all hearing the sound of death. It's time for us to hear the sound of life. Jesus said, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Okay, I done said this, I don't know how many. That's right, the village has to come together. And when the village comes together, they see God do great things. Listen, wherever you worship, be found faithful. Wherever the Lord leads you, be found faithful. I got to go get my mind on what I need to do in the morning. Pray for us that God will give the three of us preaching power that we can minister effectively to the people of God. Rest well tonight and have a good night in the Lord. May God bless you and may he keep you is our